You're listening to a 3CR podcast created in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.
Sabah al-Khair, good morning dear listeners. You're listening to Radio 3CR on 855 AM and Palestine Remembered with Robert Martin, Nasser Mashni and Yusuf Ahmed al-Rimawi.
Palestine Remembered is Australia's only English-language radio program that is totally dedicated to Palestine. We'd like to welcome those listening on 855 and those that will join us on podcast at 3cr.org.au.
Thanks for joining us. Stay with us and enjoy the episode.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Palestine Remembered, Day 182, as you just heard from Giselle. Tomorrow, 6 months since Israel ramped up its 76-year genocidal campaign of destroying Palestinians, human life, civilization, culture, and they continue to fail. But today I'm very honoured and excited to introduce a dear friend and comrade and staunch Palestinian, Ihab Abu Ibrahim, who has led the Sit-Intifada for now 182 days. I picked him up on the way to the studio from the steps of Parliament. So get along, join him, be in solidarity with him there on the steps. Good morning, Ihab.
Good morning, Nasser.
It's so good to have you here, Ihab.
I'm very happy to be with you here. Thank you.
I wish, one of the challenges with being a Palestinian is we meet each other, very rarely do we meet each other under good circumstances. Generally, we meet each other under the worst.
Unfortunately, true.
Unfortunately. Ihab, you're a new guest to the show, inshallah a frequent guest moving forward and perhaps even a future host of the show.
Thank you.
Ihab, tell us a little bit about your Nakba story. How did you end up here?
I born from a father. He's from a town called Jenin. The town next to Jenin called Kabati, which was under attack yesterday and day before, and there's a great resistance was just the last 48 hours back in Kabati. And he, in 67, of course, he has to stay in Jordan and remain in Jordan. My mom from a town called Kakun near Tul Karim. Tul Karim 67, Kakun 48. It's exactly in the border, 15 kilometers away from the Mediterranean Sea. She's been kicked out of her town with her family as an orphan with 9 children, siblings, a mom, 1948. They went to Aqaba Jabr first, then they moved to Jordan, then they moved to a camp called Al-Wahdat, the second biggest camp back in Amman, in Jordan. And my father and her got married. He was a close friend of her family, her brothers, and we are 10 siblings, 6 brothers, 4 sisters.
MashaAllah.
Grown up in the refugee camp, in the border, exact refugee camp. My mom's refugee camp unit was number 1. It was always marked number 1 there. Grown up in a very difficult situation as every other refugees in that time, with the shortage of everything. You have to carry your water from the main water supplies a few hundreds away, carry it in jerry cans. Sewage never existed until we are men. Grown up, I think when I'm maybe 17, 18, we had sewage came to our house. The environment was so difficult. Any service was difficult. Main supply food was from what we get from Anorwa, which is flowers. In my time, used to give early ages when I'm too young, a bit extra than flowers. Get rice, sugar, omega-3. Omega-3, maybe I'm the last one saw it.
Yeah.
After that stopped. Then the rice and sugar and flour all cut off in Jordan, still in the West Bank, but in Jordan completely cut off. It was difficult for us to live, to maintain. Of course, our parents continue telling us about their struggle, her movement, my mom's struggle with her family, how they come to the camp. The struggle happened in Jordan. The regimes of our governments try still attacking us. the war in 1970, 68, the war with Karama was there. That's all been given to us and witnessed and telling how much they suffer into it, especially when you are in the camp, the biggest camp being attacked by the Jordanian army that time was a lot more struggle than anything you could imagine in our time than there.
And so you were at an honor school as well?
Myself, no, because my dad, unfortunately, even this is the divide us as Palestinians. If you are 67, which is my dad 67, you're not allowed to be in an honor school.
So he was out of Jordan pre-67?
No, he's in the... Whoever lived in the West Bank or Gaza as West Bank, because West Bank been taken as a Jordanian territory. Anyone as a citizen West Bank has no UNRWA at all. My mom, 48, because she's a female, she can't give us UNRWA. We have two, what they call it, carte al-mu'an, which is the card you take the actual supply with it. We have two different cards, a square one and rectangular one. The square one is the UNRWA one, which is being given direct from UNRWA, the 48, which is allow you to go to UNRWA school. The rectangular one, the one for the 67, which extra support, a bit of support, a lot less than the UNRWA, not from the United Nations, but not organized as UNRWA.
Wow.
Which you don't have that benefit of the UNRWA at all.
Yeah. I did a talk at Melbourne University, and it's on my Instagram, about the 8 different types of Palestinians. Whether you're outside, inside, 48, 67, refugee, a citizen of a collar country, a refugee in a collar country, a Gazan or a refugee in Gaza. But even in those 8 sections of Palestinian, there are subsections as well.
Yes.
3A and 3B. I mean, the division is disgusting. Ihab, what made you decide that you were going to protest at Parliament House on day one and to keep going?
Just to correct the information, I started about 8 or 9 days after because I was overseas. I wasn't in Australia. Now, by the time I arrived to Australia, already the news was horrific and I couldn't wait. The most important element, probably I said this before, is just how you could manage to do your life day-to-day normal when things happening back at home never was normal. And you see this horrific and you hear and you talk to the people, your friends, your families, your relatives, and see the horrific things happening to them, and you wake up in the morning, you go to work, and you live your life normal. I decided I cannot do it. I decided to go to do something a bit different. Unfortunately, I'm in a country far away from Palestine. I couldn't go there. No means for us to go there. I wish if we can. It would be the greatest things to do. I decided to do something a bit different, to protest, to get the general public attention and maybe the politician attention, choosing the parliament steps. We start going down there. The first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I was alone. I support from another friend, his name Ihab as well. And the time he used to come until news went out and a lot of supporters start coming in. But the general public used to come every single day. The vast majority of them was supporters. The very first parliamentarians and the only parliamentarians interfere with us is the Greens. And do remember Gabriel, she's the very first MB, talked to me in the steps and asked me what I'm doing, how things going down there. That's how it started. And the reason to do that, to try to protect my dignity and my mental health more than anything else, because to do your day-to-day life normal and become a numb about it, I think we lose our humanity.
Of course we do.
And I have to just decide not to.
And I've said this to a lot of people. If you want to know what you would have been doing when Rwanda was happening, when Bosnia was happening, when the Holocaust was happening, whatever you're doing now with what's happening in the concentration camp that is in Gaza, even though the eyes aren't on the West Bank, on the Dufin, we'll come back and speak about what happened a couple of days ago, or the past 48 hours you're saying in Jenin. You can give us some information there. Whatever you might have thought that you would have done as a human being for another human being, if you're not doing it today for Palestine, you wouldn't have done it for the Holocaust.
Definitely, yes. Through my life, I worked and protested for all what you mentioned.
Yeah.
I was for Bosnia, I was for Rwanda, whatever information.
Iraq,
Afghanistan, Syria for 11, 12 years, Yemen. Continuously, Syria, we did so much work back here in Melbourne, from Melbourne, to try to support the Syrian refugees. The Syrians attacked north and south of Syria, in Dir'a, all along. it's a struggle for the humanity all around,
Yep.
especially in the Middle East. It's a lot worse than anybody else, any other places in the world, unfortunately.
And you see in our movements and our speeches and our rallies, so many different groups coming, and because we understand how connected it is.
It is connected because the colonizers or the money makers or the money hungry people, they're the same on the top of the world. And wherever there's an opportunity for them to make an extra dollar, they go down there without thinking where is this land or where does this money come from. They definitely just only one aim. Big corporations dig wherever they can to get more money and walk away.
Yeah, profit.
For us, we have to just fight them anywhere we can, in any place, in any continent, because their aim is the same.
And we've said, I know, in particular with respect to anti-Semitism, you know, I've had debates with Zionists that exceptionalize anti-Semitism like it is, you know, something special. And I say to them, in fact, the people that hate Jews for being Jews, the white supremacists, these people, they hate all of us the same. They're not going to leave you alone, David, and get you and then leave me. They're going to get all of us, Asians, Browns, Muslims, whatever it might be. The fight for a better tomorrow was when all of us are together.
That's definitely, they might be weaponize us against each other for their own benefit. Dividing and just not dividing. Dividing is one thing. The other thing is to use and implement hatred from one group towards the other group. This is the worst of the worst. Now, I said it before, I said it again. The normal, ordinary Jewish being used by the Zionists as a weapon to fight and being brainwashed and be used specific, even not just the Zionists in we talk about the Zionism themselves more than even the Anglican Americans, the Anglican churches, which is about 80 million of them. We have only about 12 to 16 million Jews around the world, but we have 80 Anglican from Ronald Reagan's onward up to now. They're the one try to control everything.
The evangelicals,
Yes, exactly. They're the one try to really hurt and destroy and support Israel to exist, not for love of Israel, more than for their own agenda.
Yeah.
And this is very clear for anyone who would like to see it.
Yeah.
Definitely it's not anti-Semitism whatsoever.
No. In fact, they are the most anti-Semitic. Put all the Jews there so that we can have a war, and then King of Kings comes back and all the Jews will die.
It has to be killed. Yes, that's their agenda.
It's great.
Exactly.
And they're friends.
Yeah, because everyone thinking their plan going to go through, because each one of them has different plan, very similar to it.
I was reading a report overnight by an actuary. You know, this is a person who's very studied in maths, and he says if you just run through the numbers now, it's 43,000 confirmed dead now. Still 10,000 missing. But if you run through the numbers as he has done it, he's saying the death toll's almost 100,000 now. Almost 100,000 people.
I agree with him, because you're probably saying 33 being confirmed, 10,000 missing as a number, 10,000 under the rubble missing, which is 43, 44. That's what we talk about number, we know. But the ongoing death of people already injured, already having no medical supplies, already in a life-death penalty beds or places, or even unaccounted for, because certain families completely gone. We don't know how many even. They don't know. We're only reporting the 10,000 peoples. They are from families. They still exist, asking for their members of the other families. Imagine families completely wiped out and no one know about them.
Nobody's asking for them.
I would agree with him. 100,000 will be individuals being died in Gaza or going to die in a very short, definite, I think will be the number.
And then that's going to be a stain, you know, on anyone that's in power that didn't do. We were talking before we came on the show. We think there's maybe 5 or 6 countries that are supporting Palestine.
Yeah, we count them on the hand. We find out 6.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And support, obviously, the greatest support is South Africa and Yemen, who are both fulfilling their obligations under the Genocide Convention to do something. Yemen has stopped trade. As brave as the Yemenis are, the Emirates, the Saudis, and the Jordanians are facilitating the Israeli supply chain overland with trucks of cargo because the Yemenis won't let them through.
Yes, it's a life support. They give them a life support from back down.
What about these Arab leaders?
Well, frankly, I think the Arab leaders, especially I want to name these 5 countries specific: United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Morocco, Egypt, would love to get rid of the resistance in West Bank and in Gaza, specific in Gaza. Would like to get rid of Hamas, specific, more than Netanyahu. they're the one giving the green light more than Americans to get rid of them, because that's jeopardize their own stability in their own country. They reckon if Gaza survive, if Gaza become a democratic place, that will a threat to them because they're undemocratic.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they're the worst of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
But the people down there, one day, they're already moving, and we love our people down there because they are our background. They are the extended of us in all these countries.
Yep.
They will rise up one day. They will get rid of the government regardless, because the oppression is going within the countries. The people will somehow resist it and uprise and get rid of them.
Inshallah.
And they're going to lose regardless.
Yeah. I mean, they're despotic dictators anyway.
Yes, they are.
And look, one of the greatest examples we have of the Arab street is the World Cup that we had in Qatar. It didn't matter if it was Algeria versus Morocco. You couldn't find anything but a Palestinian flag.
Exactly. It's the Palestine issue. It's an issue of every single one in Arab's world. Then you add into it, because it has a holy places, Muslim and Christian. You find every single Muslim problem. Then you find every Christian place problem, because it has the holy place for the Christian as well. And every free man in the world. For how you're going to do it, I don't know. It's a bit difficult to try to lose this kind of battles. Ben Gurion said that in the 30s. He said, we know we have no future to continue in this land, because he knew the extent of the Palestinians. It's out of Palestine.
Yep. Listeners, you're listening to Ihab Abu Ibrahim from the Sit-Intifada in front of Parliament House. Make sure you get along and support him. Hang out for an hour or two. Ramadan's about to finish, so you can bring him along a coffee. And to our dear friends who are fasting with us, Ramadan Kareem. We've got some announcements, and then we're back with Ihab from the Sit-Intifada.
Well, brothers and sisters, what a show of strength we've got here today.
Local issues.
So I'm here at the school kids strike for climate action.
Live coverage.
Join the spirit of this gathering here today at IMAR.
Your voices.
So give us a bit of a lowdown about what's happening.
There's about 250 people here at the moment.
Community struggles.
We're now in front of the Tundaminawaya Morbohina Monument. I'd like to thank Community Radio 3CR, who for the last decade has been broadcasting here.
Feed Radical Radio. Your membership is vital.
A few hundred people about to pass us right now. Lots of young people standing up for their future.
Subscribe today.
Go to 3cr.org.au/subscribe or call the station on 9419 8377.
Stand in solidarity with Palestine this Sunday.
With the most devastating attack ever launched on the people of Gaza, it's time for all of us to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people.
Israel has waged war on the Palestinians for the last 75 years. The Nakba, ethnic cleansing, occupation of the West Bank, East Jerusalem and Gaza. Israel has now imposed a total blockade on Gaza and declared war, stopping food, electricity and fuel, and launching an all-out attack.
We have to mobilise to show our support for Palestine. 12 p.m, State Library, this Sunday.
Rally to demand freedom and justice for Palestine. No war on Gaza.
Free Palestine Melbourne is a 3CR supporter.
Here to stay.
Thanks for listening again. We've got Ihab from the Sit-Intifada. Ihab, I've been along at the steps a number of times, and the crew that are joining you there, they are a mix of everyone. I've seen Jewish women, Asians, Anglo-Saxons, all Australians, but the diversity of people that have come and supported you it must be really uplifting.
Yes, it is. What's make me really strong in day in, day out, you say 172 days, 173 days continuous without stopping. Technically, if you measure it as a medical things, no human could last that long.
Mm-hmm.
But that power we get from the number of people and the different type of people. You see all Australia, every single nationality in Australia, every single ideology in Australia. every single faith in Australia came to the steps and support us. And that's what makes us really strong, because we think the whole Australians with us.
So if you're listening, make sure you get along and support Ihab there at the Parliament, him and the team. And it's true of our rallies. When we have our rallies, when we see people with us, chanting with us, marching with us, it's very uplifting.
Yes. It gives you energy from inside. You don't see how it's come from. It's really strong.
And because people say to me all the time, how are you going? And I say, look, I'm broken on levels of broken disappointment with humanity, with our leaders, with our communities, with even some of our own people. I mean, we have to have some self-reflection.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, many Palestinians leave Gaza, and the heroism that must be in the water or in the air, the pride of earth. And they come to the West and suddenly they just want to watch TV and sit at home.
The biggest problem with these things is the fear in their hearts. They get so much fear. If you do, you might be deported, you might lose this, you might lose that. And that's unfortunate. We have to really work hard and be able to have how to manage your fear, how you can deal with the day-to-day life. If you're strong by understand what you do, it's not going to make any different than what could happen to you. Then you become fearless. Then you can do what you think is right, instead of you worry about your job, your money, to send some money for, because these people has families back in Palestine. They want to support them, but they're thinking too much. If I do this, I'm not going to have a job. Then I'm not going to support my existing family down there, and they rely on me. And that's the problem, which is I say to them, no, work hard, be loud. You will get what you want. You'll be more respectful, respected, and you will get more support, and you will support your family in a stronger way.
In a stronger way.
I'm one of these examples. I worked here, I support my family, the siblings, and all of them. I never was silent, and still not up to now silent. And nothing happened to me. Still working, still everything nice.
I mean, this is one of the things, the fear of the Zionist lobby. It's made so many of us, it's got stronger because we've given it air. I've seen the attacks on you. I've seen your strength and your character, and you're unrepentant, unapologetic. Nothing's happened.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be having any of this kind of fears at all. Unfortunately, this is a propaganda of our enemies. Try to always make us individuals, look after our own interest, worried, I call it always the slavery of the modern life. Worry about the credit card, the loan, the bank, the food, the support if you are a refugee to the back home. Because of that, you have to be only silent and work and not doing nothing except work. Unfortunately, you lose your humanity with that.
And your dignity.
Of course, without dignity, you have no point for you.
And if you want to see dignity, they can see it every day in the WhatsApp messages. When we see our Palestinian brothers and sisters, they've lost their brothers and their mothers and their children, and alhamdulillah. Yeah. The strength in their faith.
And not just that, they're saying to the guys dropping aid from them from air, we don't want your aid to kill us with it. We have dignity. If you want to give it to us on the ground. If you want to feed us like an animals, don't feed us. That's the greatest dignity. When they're starving and they're hungry and they say, no, this is not the way how we want it. It's supposed to be given to us in a respectful way. And unfortunately, this is the Western way of life, to attach you to the dollar, to attach you to the day-to-day work. And that's what they put the fear inside you. That's what changed a lot of us. I urge every one of ethnic come from any country, our brothers from Palestine, from the Arab world, from Southeast Asia, from Africa, practice your rights as a human, and don't think you are below anyone in Australia. You are a human like any other one, came here to Australia or lived here in Australia for 250 years, and like any other human on earth. You shouldn't be afraid of anything. You shouldn't look at yourself as you below anybody else's. No. Practice it normal.
Absolutely. And the challenge, it is a challenge for some people to come and see the racism and how it permeates itself through the society, for somebody who's coloured or who's different religion, etc., to feel they're inferior, but they're not, and they have to practice that they're equal. You're not better than anybody, but nobody's better than you.
Exactly.
We've got about 5 minutes left. I want to talk very quickly. The world is upset now about Gaza.
Yes.
7 aid workers. I'm going to say they're assassinated.
Yeah, they are assassinated, 100%. Specific targeted. 3 missiles, one after the other.
Well, not just three missiles. They're in a convoy on a road that was approved with GPS tracking. They were talking to the Israelis. The first car is hit. They take the guys and that were injured and girls, put them in the second and the third car, and they drive. For 880 meters later, the second one is hit.
Yep.
Everybody gets into the last car. 1.5 kilometers later, it's hit again.
Yep.
Now, when they say human shields, Hamas uses human shields because we've got precision weaponry and everybody we're killing on purpose. If they've killed 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 people, this is on them. They are doing it on purpose.
Yeah, they do that on purpose to attack not just the 7th. The 7th will make a big noise about it because they're Westerners, because they're white, because they're different. Unfortunately, every human it has to be respected as a human. But these guys, they're targeting the long-term killings. If you kill the supplies, if you kill the aid workers, if you put fear in any organizations to go down there, that means the long-term killing in Gaza continuous.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 100,000 can be 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they don't want anybody to go there and support. That's why they're specific targeting this kind of means of life more than the humans themselves as well.
Well, the boat that was on the way to Gaza turned back to Cyprus.
Yes, because too afraid to be...
Too afraid.
Yes, exactly.
And
that's what the 7th do.
Yeah. And this is as you said, a part of a policy, aside from intentional starvation, intentional killing, and the whole recolonization of Gaza to make it unlivable, to drive people out.
That's 2 reasons. They want, my opinion, they want to drive people out willingly. That means not anything cleansing. The other things, whoever remain has to be disconnected from the resistance. Has so much fear inside them. Look what the resistance bought for you. Look what Hamas bought for you. Look what this attack in the 7th of October bought for you. This from now on, you should live like a sheep, quiet, don't do nothing, don't resist. That's, I think, the biggest aim for them, for whoever remain there, to do not have any kind of resist whatsoever. But I assure them, we're too strong. We don't care. It doesn't matter how he kill from us.
Right.
Some of us will raise and will be a resistance again, over and over again.
Yeah. As they said, Ben Gurion said, the old will die and the young will forget. But
we're the young.
We're the young.
Our kids the young. My daughter, the little 10 years old, she's the young.
MashaAllah. Yeah. She's fantastic. So make sure we've been joined by Ihab from the Sit-Intifada. He's on Parliament steps from dawn till dusk and even a bit later than dusk. We've got a couple of days of Ramadan left. Wednesday is Eid. Bring some presents. But then on Thursday, I'm sure he'll enjoy a couple of daytime coffees, which is the one thing I've been missing.
Yeah. And Wednesday day.
Wednesday, inshallah.
Thanks, Nasser. Thanks for 3CR. I wish the best for everybody, and we urge everybody to come to the rallies for this Sunday, please. Thank you.
Thanks very much for listening to Palestine Remembered. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and remember, there's never been a better time for a free Palestine.
Because the Palestinian fight isn't just the Palestinians' fight, it's all our fight, because it's a fight not just about land, it's about a fight for freedom.
Everybody should be standing here today saying Free Palestine.
Solidarity with our Palestinian brothers and sisters on behalf of the Gumbaynja Nation, my people who've never ceded their sovereignty.
We should be recognising Palestine as a state and recognising the rights of Palestinians.
3CR. Stay tuned, stay radical.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.